Awesome. Hi, everyone. My name is Mia, and I am an enrollment advisor here at Hult, working with postgraduate students in North America. And today we have a group of current students and alums that are here to talk about their experience. We know you love to hear from current students and their day-to-day and their thoughts on the program. We also have Brooke with us, who will be asking certain questions. For anybody who does have their own questions, please feel free to throw them in the chat. We will address those at the end of this webinar. But Brooke, take it away.
Thank you so much, Mia. So today we are joined with Andres, who's actually a dual degree student, and Juan Carlos, who is an alum. We're hoping to have two other current students join us as well, Omini and Martina. They're just tied up right now, so hoping by the end of the session they will be able to pop in. But in the meantime, I would love to hand this over to Andres. Why don't we start with you? And if you could introduce yourself, and then Juan Carlos, I'll have you do the same.
Yeah, hi everyone, my name is Andres. I'm actually Asian Latino and grew up in Colombia. I'm currently doing my dual degree in marketing in Boston.
Thank you. Juan Carlos?
Yeah, so hi everyone, my name is Juan Carlos Valarza. I am I was born and raised in Lima, Peru. I am a 2019 MBA graduate from the whole Boston campus, and I'm a 2020 Master in Finance program graduate as well from the same campus. It's been 2 years already since I finished school. I'm back to the actual business world, let's say, and I'm here to share some interesting experiences from my program, and hopefully you enjoy it.
Fantastic, thank you. I would love to hear a little bit more about what you thought of the program, but eventually I will dive into what you're currently doing as well. But just to start us off, Juan Carlos, do you mind talking about what you liked about Hult's MBA program and what worked for you?
Sure. Well, it's been 3 years already, but it's like it was a month ago when I finished the MBA program. First of all, what I really like about the program is that Hult is meant to challenge you every single day in which you are at school. From the beginning, for example, you start sharing classes, lessons, experiences with people from all over the world. I think that's something completely unusual for most of the people that come together at this kind of programs at first time, and that's something that is a life-changing moment probably, because it demands you to be way more open than you used to be. It demands a lot of comprehension and effort, and of course of resilience as well, because it's a tough program. In the case of the full-time 1-year MBA program, it's kind of compact, it's very demanding, it's very time-consuming, but that's something that later on that will help you to handle the business world, the actual business world, more easily.
Great. Have you found that it's really helped you since you graduated and now are, in the workforce, or back in the workforce, I should say?
Say that again, please.
Have you found that your experience with the MBA program and everything you learned at the MBA program has really helped you now that you're back in the workforce? Like, did everything that you learn in the MBA program help you find your job and really get settled into your current position?
Definitely. It's been very rewarding in these past few months, especially because it's like getting back to work and trying to perform. Because in my case, I'm back in Peru, back in the country. It took me a little bit longer than expected to get back in the workforce, as you were saying, mainly because there's a lot of competition, not just people from, in my case, that are studying currently in Peru, but also people that are studying in Europe, in the US, Australia, somewhere else. And it's very competitive. So for international professionals like me, or most like Hult students, they may find that these kind of experiences in which you have like this contact with that many people somehow helps you to understand better what you can construct later while going back to work. It's definitely something that helps you to understand better different mindsets, different professions, different people, different cultures, of course. That's something that I appreciated the most by the time I was at home.
Awesome, thank you. Appreciate you answering that and going into detail. Andres, do you want to talk about what you like about the program? I know that you're still currently in school now doing your dual degree. So if you can talk about what you've liked about the MBA program.
Yeah, so for me, it was like mostly the exposure that we have that we had with other students from other cultures. Like Juan Carlos mentioned that, you know, we are working with multiple people from different places, and you get to learn so much from each of them. Sometimes you have to think outside the box, and this your teammates and your professors are there for you to bring that perspective. Another thing is the I like the classes that are more about practice. Like we are always doing case studies. We have interviews with industry leaders. We are working on different projects. It's not so much about theory. And I have an internship right now, and I found that, you know, all that experience that I had in my program have really been helpful in the projects that I'm doing right now in my internship.
That's great. I love to hear that direct correlation. Andres, do you mind also talking about the benefits of doing the dual degree program, especially since you're in it now?
Yeah, thank you for that question. Yeah, so you definitely get more exposure to the business field. So I'm doing marketing right now, and I'm not like a really creative person, but the program itself has been able to challenge me in a way that, you know, one day I have to design this thing, another day I have to think about data and how to visualize it. So these are skills that I didn't really get to explore that much during my previous program. So other than that exposure, I think the network that you are creating in this program is insane. I get to learn from more people who are more interested in marketing as opposed to the program that I had before.
Mhm. Great, thank you. Okay, I am going to have you both answer this question. Andres, I'm going to start with you. What are classes like? I know you have, you know, exposure to people from all over the world, and you've been working with fantastic professors. But if you can talk about, you know, are they interactive? Do you have a lot of teamwork? Are they really intense? Are they manageable? If you can just kind of paint a picture for all the people on this call that don't know what a whole class is like.
Yeah, so definitely. I'll say that, you know, we always have readings before each class, and that really sets the stage of what you're going to be expecting in class. I'll say that like 80% of my classes, we have at least one case study each lecture. If not, we have a team project or a team presentation. Then 20% of it is like theory and just learning the basics and the things that you gotta learn from for the class. Um, then we also have group projects, at least like 2 or 3 per semester and per class. But yeah.
Okay, great, thank you. Juan Carlos, so you were a student ambassador. What did you enjoy about doing that? And do you feel it helped you expand your network? If you can just talk a little bit to your experience, that would be great.
Sure. So I was elected as part of the Hult Global Ambassador Program on my second year while studying my dual degree at finance. I also got elected as the Boston campus team lead from the ambassadors, and honestly, I wasn't expected to have that role at my second year. I was mostly focused on my job search, on working on my internship by that time already. But I am really grateful that I had that experience, because it's not just the fact that you're more involved with school and with students and even with candidates that might be visiting campus on those months, but also it's the kind of opportunity that you're expecting to have in order to give back to school something that you might be expecting by the time you were trying to get inside school. So to have like a real perspective, like a real experience that you can share with these people that want to know how is school life in Boston, how's the city, of course, how is the whole community as an international and extremely diverse group of people. So being part of the program gave me access to that kind of events, and of course, it's not just the fact of being 20 people, being part of a group of 20 people, but also being part of something that kind of sticks to you for the rest of your academic or even your professional life. Because up to now, I get a lot of contacts on LinkedIn that know that I was part of a program and want me to share with them their experiences. And honestly, I'm totally open to do that, because that's something I would have liked to have 3 or 4 years ago when I was checking on programs, on locations and schools, and definitely something that I really like it. I will do it one time again. I'm very happy to share that with the entire whole community.
Great, thank you so much. Okay, I would like to ask you both this question. Andres, we'll start with you. So as you know, Hult is ranked #1 in diversity. So as people from 2 entirely different backgrounds coming to school in the US, how did you feel about this? Did you feel like Hult really was a melting pot? And you can just talk about your view on that.
I really like how international Hult is. Talking from my experience as someone who grew up in Colombia, I get to really see the other side of the other cultures that are way further than where I grew up, where my family is from. And not only that, but I think that having that international perspective into your team, into the class, is something that really builds your knowledge and your understanding on how to approach something, how to solve a problem. Like, for example, we were doing a consulting competition with a group of friends, and one of them thought about a way of solving the case in a very different approach. And that's because her culture, her the things, the way she saw things were so different to the way we did. And I think that really brought up a huge advantage to us. And I think Halt really offers that space for all the students.
Great, I love that. It's always really cool hearing stories like that and how people collaborate and you're able to see such a different view solely just based from these people's cultures and how everyone thinks differently and has a different lens on the world. So Juan Carlos, I'm going to ask you the same question. So again, how did you feel about coming to a US school? Do you feel that Hult was a melting pot? Did you have the same type of experience as Andres with collaborating with people from all different cultures?
Well, honestly, it's a very tough question in terms of what were my expectations or what I was expecting to have, and then what I really had as an experience, because I was expecting some international people, but not that many. And of course, that's something that I really enjoyed. Not just the fact of having like 70, 75 different nationalities inside a single cohort, but also the type of cultures and people that you could find over there. Of course, Boston or even San Francisco, of course, both are like world-class cities. You're expected to have a lot of contact with big companies, with big schools. But something that I was not considering that much is that probably my biggest network now, it's a worldwide group that I have with very strong attachments up to today. And honestly, as I was saying, I was not expecting that at all. I was mostly focused about, hey, I want to get to know more people in the US, probably more American people. And of course, I did that as well. But the fact of having these connections with more European, more Asian, more African people, that's something that I find extremely appealing compared to other schools. When I talk to some other colleagues at work that also had their degrees in the US or any other major schools, it's like, yeah, they have some international people, but when I start talking about my experiences and what I had, it's like, oh wow, it's something. I had a tiny part of that, but that sounds like something incredible in terms of what you can find over there, the experiences that you may have, the connections, the friendships that you also develop on those months or years, and definitely it's part of Hult's DNA, I would say, and it's what makes us unique.
Great. Thank you for answering that. I appreciate it. All right, I know we have just a couple minutes left here, so I'm going to ask Andres, what has been the most challenging part of the program, and what did you learn from it?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So from my experience, I've always been someone who likes to get involved in multiple things. Not only like, focus my time in taking classes. So what I did my first semester is I created my own club. I was part of other clubs. I was working with a nonprofit. I was taking classes and applying for internships. And I think the most challenging part for me was making sure I understood the assignments and had a right time management process, because it can be really easy for you to allocate more time into other things that might not be as important. Like, remember, we only have 1 year to finish this program, and we want to try to make the most out of it. But yeah, time management was the most challenging thing for me at the beginning.
Thank you. Juan Carlos, if you had one piece of advice to give to someone that is coming to Hult, just coming to the US, just coming to Hult, what advice would you give them?
Definitely, my best advice to these people coming is that you must get out of your comfort zone from day one. Don't wait until the middle or the later part of the program to try new stuff, to try to connect with new people, to try different activities, locations, to enroll to a club that has nothing to do with your background or anything related to that, to experience something new day by day, time and time again. That's probably the most enrichment part of this, because that's the experience that later you can share and will make your whole student life experience definitely more rewarding and more appealing also to companies later, because I think nowadays companies are expecting you to have those kind of contacts, of experiences that demanded you to try something new, to try something different, to get you out of that comfort zone that I was mentioning at the beginning. And definitely that will challenge you time and time again, and how good or bad you relate to that will definitely make you grow as a person and indeed as a professional. So do it from the beginning. I think I did it kind of early. I don't regret the time I did it, but if I could ask myself to change a little, probably not day 10, day 0, day 1, you can probably enjoy the full program all time a little better, and definitely will be more enjoyable later.
I Completely agree. And I know that, in doing a lot of these events, I always love to hear what's one piece of advice that you would give an incoming student. And that's one thing I hear a lot is really put yourself out there, push you get out of your comfort zone, and you'll extract so much more from the program. But it's hard to do, it's not easy. And so I applaud you for doing that. Andres, I'm going to ask you the same question and we'll probably close out on that. So what's one piece of advice that you would give to an incoming student coming to Hult?
One thing, well, for me, it's network, network, and network. I cannot really I cannot really highlight the importance of networking. It's been really crucial for me to, for my jobs, for my job search, for my finding friends, and even like if you want to make friends at Hult, the first thing I would do is join a club, um, join the things that you really enjoy doing, and you're gonna end up networking at the end. Uh, Even for my internship, the only reason I got it is because I was networking with people with Hult alumni, always digging for more information, and I think that makes things so much more easy in the US at least.
Absolutely. And you're really setting yourself up for post-graduation, having that really strong network, even if you don't utilize it right away, because maybe you have a job right off the bat, but down the line, absolutely, referring back to that alumni network will really help you go places. All right, well, thank you all so much for helping out with this session, for answering all of our questions. I know that all of our incoming students and prospective students are going to be very, very grateful for hearing your insight. Thank you, Mia, as well for joining. And probably would like to close out, if anyone has any questions, of course, you can email info.northam@hult.edu. And then we have some upcoming sessions as well with alumni, more alumni, with our careers team, as well as virtual skills lab webinars. So please make sure to check out hult.edu/events and see what type of events would be best for you. So thank you again, everyone, for joining, and I hope you have a great night.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.